All right. So we are looking at introduction to JavaScript. Introduction to JavaScript. So what we'll try to achieve today is to lay the foundation. At least before leaving here, we should be able to know what JavaScript is, and we will look at how we can implement it, how we can create our first JavaScript file. We will also look at how to link JavaScript with your HTML file, and then if possible we'll talk about some JavaScript outputs display possibilities. So let's quickly start with the definition. Now, before I give us the definition, I want you to know that this is the first core programming language you are learning. The HTML, the CSS, they are not core programming languages. They are just subordinate languages. They are languages that are used to help. So the main programming language, as far as your web development is concerned, is JavaScript. So I usually say this or advise students each time I'm starting JavaScript for certain reasons. You don't expect the speed of understanding you have while learning HTML and CSS to be the same with what? JavaScript. Don't expect that, so that it will not discourage you as a person. How come when I was learning HTML, as soon as they put the tag, I understand it, but JavaScript, yes, it's normal. Nobody that have ever learned this language that did not find it difficult. Telling you the basic truth now. Nobody that can come outside and say that when I was learning JavaScript, it did not take me 2 weeks to understand it. The reason why it's like that is not only JavaScript. Every programming language that you are learning for the very first time is usually a bit difficult. If I bring in Python now before JavaScript, you are going to experience that difficulties. But after JavaScript, if I bring in any other programming language, it's going to be easy for you. The reason is this. I understand Hausa. You understand what? Igbo, right? Another person understand Yoruba. And they are all different languages. They are different languages. Now I want you to be sincere to yourself. If, for example, did you understand Hausa, sir? You don't understand Hausa, right? If I say to start learning Hausa now, are you going to find it difficult to cope at the beginning? Why do you think you're going to find it difficult to cope at the beginning? It's a new language. Now let me go this way. If you want to learn that Hausa, will you start from speaking it, or you start from come, go? Where will you start from?
Come,
go. Then after some time, you will not even know how it will happen. You start joining they come and go together, and then start speaking it. That is how it is in every programming language. That is why students without this knowledge, when they find themselves learning any programming language, they find it discouraging because they don't understand what I just told you. How can you come into a language
or how can you start learning the language that you don't know anything about and expect that you start speaking it? And then when it does not happen, you feel as if you are not getting it. So that is a concept I want to first of all
eliminate before we start.
So that if you are not able to speak it fluently at the beginning, don't be discouraged. Just continue learning those terms
in that language, bit by bit.
At a point,
you start flying in the language.
Some of us, it took us 10 years. I was born in Delta State here, and I was raised in the northern part of the country,
Niger State, for 30 years. That is why I can speak any Hausa.
Now, I did not learn how to speak that Hausa for the first year. It took me like 5 to 6 years. To shock you, I have spent 15 to 16 years in Lagos.
But today, I cannot speak Yoruba fluently because of interest.
So what I'm saying now is that this is a programming language. And if your first time of learning any programming language or coming across any programming language is usually challenging. And you know what? All these languages, they are interconnected. They are similar. There are a lot of similarity in them. So once you are done with JavaScript now, you know what? I can tell you, don't go and enroll anywhere you want to learn Python. If you are smart. Just take the same concept. Go and watch 1 or 2 videos. Because every programming language, all of them have the same entrance, the same beginning. The key terms, the key data type, they are repeated in all languages. The way Python recognizes strings, that is how JavaScript recognizes strings. The only thing is that the code syntax
are different.
The declaration of those data type across these languages, there are differences. So what I am saying is that you are learning JavaScript, but indirectly you are learning other languages if you are smart.
And JavaScript is the most difficult out of when it comes to Python. You know the reason why everybody today is learning Python. Because Python is the easier programming language to learn today. A lot of AI inside. Where you have AI, do you think you're going to do more manual work? No. Where you have AI. So what I am saying is that make sure that the foundation of every program, you understand it very well. If you do, then you can now try off. But the issue most of us do have is that because I've taught a lot of sessions. So when I'm doing this, I know why I'm taking time to educate you on this. So people fail because of not getting this idea that I'm giving you.
While you are grounding them on the basic, what they need to know before they can speak it very well, they are busy watching YouTube video on how somebody is applying the language. You see the communication. And they come to a class like this where you are teaching them the rudiment, the basic, they are being distracted. And they are still having issue with the speaking application they are learning. How will you speak a language that you don't know its foundation? You watch video from it now, you don't understand it. But if I watch that video once, I will get everything. You know why? Because you understand it. That is where some students will get it wrong. So immediately I discovered that anytime I'm talking to I will give this advice so that everybody will know. If there is a time for everything, for example, now once you get to a particular level, I will even be the one to tell you, oh yeah, start watching video. If you want to. Provided you not come to the class and be rude. But that is where me I will bend you.
Because it's just like graphic design. This particular stuff was designed with CorelDRAW. And I can tell you that the person that did this, he was taught just the tools. And then he sat down and manipulate what? Those tools to come up with this as a project. How do you expect Mr. Prosper to know all that book creativity? These people get it. Because we are all graphic designers, so I should know your creativity. I should know everybody's creativity. I have my own set of people I know. You have your own that you know. So if I want to learn, you know what I want to do? After learning the main language, then to expand my knowledge, I'm going to give us my own application here in the class. After you have learned the language and you take those ones that I'm going to give you, you can decide, okay, now I want to look somewhere else, I want to check another person. That does not mean that you come and meet Mr. People that what did not know it. That is the goodness I'm talking about. Because you feel that the person creativity with the language that he came up with that you watched, because Mr. Prosper did not teach you with that one. So therefore, he did not know it. That means you don't know what is called programming. There are variety out there. So, but one thing that every one of us must know, whether you have your own application or not, we must know the core language, the language itself. You must know it. For example, now you want to learn React. JavaScript is applied there. If you don't graduate from JavaScript class, don't bother yourself attending React class. You'll be lost. Because there you'll be using what? React what? You'll be using a program called what? Node.js. A framework that is derived from a language. You don't learn the language, you want to use it. You see where people get it from. So please, I just have to tell you this so that you guide yourself right. Focus on the one I'm taking you here first, be good at them, and then you have the liberty to what? Expand. After all, as far as technology is concerned, nobody has graduated from it. You know, when some of us tell you this respect tools, you don't like it. You like somebody that will deceive you that everything that he knows is everything, so that you not bother to make research, so that you not be greater than him as your teacher. I'm not that one of those people. You know, there's a way I can make you look at everything I'm giving you. Enough. It's enough for you to don't bother learning. Tech advances every day. As we are here now, there are new inventions. So if I make some research in the past and come to the class to teach you, what about the one that are coming up now as we are here, and I made you to understand that it's only this one. That is what I was talking about the other day. You need to learn to what sacrifice nights. That was giving us that advice. It's not every teacher that will give you all those schools. But when they come to the class, you think that they don't make mistakes, or you don't know. Secret of a dynamic teacher is what to continue what making what research on what he or she has been. Okay, so let's start with what is JavaScript. Let's write what is JavaScript. Let's start from there. What is JavaScript? That is the definition. What is JavaScript? JavaScript is a powerful programming language. JavaScript is what? A powerful what? Programming language that can add interactivity to a website. So the key word there is what? Interactivity. JavaScript is a powerful programming language that can add interactivity to a website. JavaScript is the most used programming language for front-end development. JavaScript is the most used programming language for what? Front-end development. Now, when we say front-end, you know what we're talking about. The user what? And design.
which is what? The
iOS.
user interface development. There is no website today that does not use what? JavaScript. Either by programming or by inheriting some of its function from the browser you are using to run that website. You don't know that by default there are a lot of what? JavaScript functions in every browser. So even if you as a developer you did not even program it, in as much that website is running on that browser, JavaScript has a way of what? Enhancing some of the basic things.
How will you learn web development if you don't learn JavaScript? You are not complete. It's the core language for front-end development.
No other front-end language that developers have consumed much like what?
JavaScript.
It is not an easy language to learn, but when you eventually scale through,
You will enjoy it. As they say,
is there anything good that usually comes simple? And let me tell you, one of the reasons why we graduate, different schools graduate millions of students, thousands of students in web dev, but at the end of the day, statistics show that what? Only 3 to 5% of them practice. Do you know what is filtering them? Do you know what is filtering them? Just two languages. JavaScript. Sometimes we don't know our real students until we are done with JavaScript. You will see when we are in HTML and CSS, everybody is happy.
they are smiling because they are very simple languages to learn.
They are languages that does not involve debugging. You can be debugging JavaScript code for 2 days, you have not seen the results.
Will you be able to remain there until you get it?
HTML, whether you write with capital letter or not, it will display the content. So we don't spend time, we don't let debugging in HTML and CSS. One of the characteristics of a programmer is the ability to what? To think what? Critically. What is your level of elasticity? At what point you break is from JavaScript you know. Because HTML have not really stretched us. We compound some errors in HTML, but HTML overlooked them. But you see this one. That is the reason why you see everybody running after Python. Python will guide you, will tell you that you see this way, because of the AI in it is very intelligent to know where the error is. Suspect this way. Your eye will just go there, wow. But JavaScript, everything will remain silent, except the error is cumbersome. If it's just minor error, JavaScript will just keep quiet. It will not even show you with underline, nothing. You will just be there looking at it, no error sign. But that thing, that single comma, that single dot, that single semicolon that you did not add will make an entire code not to what? To run. That is JavaScript for you. So it's a language that you handle what? Carefully. You don't rush. Because when you rush and make a lot of mistakes, thinking that you are reserving them for debugging, it will not increase your debugging time. While you are coding, try to be careful to minimize what? Those errors.
And be hard about it so that you can, not to scare you, but to those of you that have been sleeping, because HTML is very simple. I'm talking hash this way so that
now you reprogram yourself that if I've not been doing extra work, this one will be extra.
Not to scare you, but I can assure you that it's a very simple language. This is what makes you to stand out. Everybody can speak HTML easily. Everybody can speak CSS easily. See, if you look at me very well, I don't learn skills before what, or I don't learn skills without checking some factors. I don't just learn IT skill anyhow. One, I will start by looking at how lucrative that program is. How do I make money from it? Because I'm not like this guy and I'm still going to school. I have family that I want to feed. I have things I want to do. So at my level, if I want to learn anything, I should picture how what it will give me money first. Because I will need money for further upgrade. I will need money to buy data when the new version comes out tomorrow. So if what I need today don't give me money, when the new version comes, then I'm totally what out of the business. So these are the things we need to factor.
Learn things that are difficult.
We don't have that kind of environment, will never be saturated.
But when you learn things that are very easy,
that environment what is saturated.
And when it's saturated,
they will not value you. Why would you become expert of HTML without HTML that is simple?
if we call almost all web developers, all of them know what HTML is. That what you want to be master of? You won't get paid. Competition will be too high. Look for that one like JavaScript that is difficult for them. You stay there. You see that well, you'll be few there. So when the job comes, you have it. That is just the scope I'm giving you here. Where did I stop there? I said what? That can add what? Interactivity. So the key word there is what? What is the meaning of interactivity? You know, there are two words that sometimes we misquote for
one another.
The word responsiveness and interactivity, they are not the same
In this field.
sometimes when you ask for what is for a website to be interactive, they will say what is for the website to be responsive. They are two different things. I think I've explained responsiveness before.
When I'm talking about media code, the adaptability of what your website to size to different what screen sizes is what responsiveness.
Interactivity, life. How are things acting as if they have life? Things that do not have life. Ordinarily, they are not supposed to be moving. But are they moving? When they are moving, that's what there is what? An interaction. Something is causing that thing. Those effects you are seeing, you are feeling as if something is pushing an object within a website.
They are the present of words. JavaScript and what CSS words animation. So if you are good at CSS animation, you will reduce some of your work in JavaScript. So there are some life. There are some lively things you just. This one is too low for me to bother JavaScript now. When I get to the cutting, then I want JavaScript. Let me use CSS animation to solve this.
So that is the meaning of what? The interactivity that I'm talking about. Note, JavaScript was invented by Bredan Eich. Let me write all these American names. Sometimes I can bend your tongue. So this is the person that invented what? JavaScript. Guess what? A co-founder of Mozilla what? Projects. Do you know that we have Mozilla Firefox? Have we?
A co-founder of Mozilla Projects.
No wonder.
JavaScript work easily with what? All browsers.
Note, JavaScript is versatile and beginner friendly. Somebody want to disagree with that one? To encourage you. No worry. It's beginner friendly. JavaScript is versatile and beginner what? Friendly. Beginner friendly.
Monitor your face.
Yes, it's possible.
Beginner what? Friendly. Yeah, the truth is that it's beginner friendly, honestly.
Beginner friendly.
If you are ready to abide by the what? The rules. Now, there is difference between Java and JavaScript. You see, if your aim is to become a developer, somebody who build websites, the language you should learn is Java scripts, not Java. If your aim is what? Application development, that is what? App creation, like all these mobile apps, standalone app, not web-based. Your focus will be what? Java. So if you come here now, you want to learn application development, not web, then the best language to learn is what? Java, C++, C#. These are the core Python. These are the core application what? Development what? Languages. Now today we now have different frameworks for JavaScript. So you will have asked yourself, what led to the introduction of this framework? Have you ever seen HTML framework? No. You ask yourself. Because it's very simple. Any program you see framework, our programming fathers, they have sat down and look at the what? The program. Holistically, that this program is too voluminous. The library of this program, I would say like program library, you know what that means? The functions that are stored in it, they are too much that you discourage what? Beginner to go into JavaScript library. This much. Many functions that are stored. So what they now did is that, okay, to help them, let's formulate what? A framework or a library. Where most of these things that they will have done manually will have been what? Done. Then it's just for them to do what? To call the key word. You know what is called program keyword? I have mentioned it before. What is program keyword? Nobody.
A component.
Yes. 90/100. The components. Can you simplify it for a beginner to understand what? If you are learning any programming language, somebody use the word, the program keyword. What is the person talking about?
Sorry, not your class. What is your class?
A program keyword is, they are words. We use keyword now, even in HTML and tags. When I define what HTML tag, what? These are the words, the keywords surrounded by what? The angle brackets, meaning that what? They are already built in. These are words that, these are names or words that have been used to save a particular function in the program, store in the program. So you cannot use it. When it comes to programming language, you don't use keyword as your variable names. Because here now, let's speak in the language. No, we don't have variable things. For HTML is not a programming language. So there are a lot of what? Keywords. And what? Just like I program a calculator with JavaScript. And then I now store it in my library. Like Bootstrap, like React, like Angular. And now I have coded everything, and now store it with Prosper. That if you are in React, just call Prosper to call all the code. You are not writing those code again. So you see, this is the help of library to help us to survive this. Because if we are to be writing all those code, people will be discouraged. So they just sat down and program all those plenty code. What are the API code that they are giving, you are buying? What are they for? They have written everything. The payment gateway API, the Google Map API. All these things that have been programmed, just to get the what? The code. That will draw it from their library. Add their what? Content network delivery. They have a central server where they have stored this. So if you are implementing them in your project, your local project, you add their CDN link to your what? Your website. Meaning that what? That will now give you access to access those what? Those code that they have written. You are practically drawing them from their own server and implementing them in your own project. That's what these libraries are. That is why when you graduate from here now, only 2 to 3 classes as in comprehensive classes on React, you are good to go. Because we are not going to be writing plenty code. Just one keyword you just be selecting and still be using HTML tags. That is all. So now, is anybody who still having issue with the definition on what JavaScript does? Remember the keyword there. I said what? Interactivity. So just to add to it, so I will understand the meaning of what that interactivity. JavaScript gives life to websites. That's what we are saying.
Using that word interactivity, we are simply saying what?
JavaScript gives what? Life. How many of us have visited a website? As soon as you get to that web page, you don't see a particular advert. By the time you stay on that page for like the next 2 seconds, you see an advert. Pam, pam. And then while you are sitting there, the next second, few seconds, that advert what? Disappear. When you see that kind of thing, what is played there? JavaScript in action. Now, when you started this program, I gave us a kind of relationship between these front-end languages. I told you that HTML is mainly for creating what? Content. From what we have learned so far, you can confirm that. CSS is for presenting those content, that is styling, right? Then JavaScript is for adding action. That is how I put it there. Action. We are taught in secondary school that a verb is what? So when I see HTML element displaying, then what do you think I should suspect that is in action?
JavaScript.
Or what? CSS animation.
All these add-to-cart shopping carts, you can't build them without what? JavaScript. All these online shopping carts that people will click. That thing itself is an app that is being integrated in your website.
That is representing a whole shop, as in a shop and what? The sales rep. You know what I mean? When you visit a shop, what do you see? You see the product, I mean? That app is showcasing what? The product. And then you now ask whoever is in charge, how much is this? That app is answering all those questions. Now, let's quickly look at what? Starting with JavaScript. That is the next topic. Starting with JavaScript. Starting with JavaScript.
Pause it down.